Hey everyone, it's Critical Art 64, your main man Caesar here with the second episode of Design Redemption, where we get failed designs, then we host them, roast them, diagnose them, then we toast them to the utmost, goalpost by the host, not to boast, with the most. Okay, with this episode, just like the first, I'm touching on the worst Mortal Kombat characters. The three I'm dealing with in this episode are Meat, Blaze, and Mokap. So basically the characters that have nouns for first names, like Donut. I'm gonna start with the actual worst Mortal Kombat character. Last video I said it was Suhao, but that was only because Suhao was an actual character, whereas Meat is more of a secret Easter egg type character. He was initially just a body render for fatalities and was unlocked by using a code in Mortal Kombat 4. For the younger viewers, video games back in my day, had codes you would enter for secret stuff. Grand Theft Auto is the last game to have them, but back in the day all the games had big head mode for some reason. I don't know. So Meat is on the same creative level as big head mode in video games. He was brought back in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, which is in my opinion the worst Mortal Kombat game. One baffling choice is that he is naked with the exception of his chones. They might as well be Calvin Klein boxer briefs. I thought it was ridiculous that he had them until I really thought about it, that if he had not had them, we would be subjected to his skinless wiener. The other defining characteristic is his gross, booger eye that's dangling out of his head. The thing that bothers me about that is his story says that he was created by Shang Tsung as part of an experiment and then escaped from the flesh pits.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Which means he has some measure of intelligence. But if he was that smart, why wouldn't he just pop his eye back in his head? I mean, I would understand if it got popped out in a fight and then sometimes it would dangle, but you know, why would you leave it hanging like that unless you were zombie level retarded? If he is that retarded and he escaped, then Shang Tsung is really incompetent, and you wouldn't really have to worry about him since he would probably defeat himself inadvertently. So that's the importance of design decisions. It could undermine the whole thing. Well, let's see what we can do with him. First we'll start out with a rough sketch, and then bam, super Meat Boy. Of course, I kept him more or less the same. I covered him instead with Taoist talismans to make him look a little bit closer to how a Chinese zombie looks. I would make Shang Tsung seem more like a Taoist wizard rather than like a evil Dr. Fu Manchu ripoff. I would give him leopard style, so he'd claw people with his skeleton hands. So all in all, that would be my take. I put the little Chinese character for Meat on his tattered loincloth. So yeah. Alright, next up is Blaze. He is also a background character, much like Meat, and you can see him on one of the levels just chilling in the background with another character they call Hornbuckle, which is just a green Liu Kang. He also seems to share the same affinity for boxer briefs as Meat does. It seems that they're flame resistant chones. His early design is kind of like Cinder from Killer Instinct or Pyron from Darkstalkers. His Armageddon design is like Inferno from Soul Calibur, and I guess they copied him for the 2013 reboot of Cinder for Killer Instinct, thus completing the circle of generic designs. Blaze also is the name of the Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. Coincidence? So let's see what we can do. So in the Mortal Kombat story, he's an elemental that got captured by the Onaga cult and then made to guard the dragon egg. So I designed him to look like a Buddhist guardian, kind of like the statues you would see outside of a Buddhist temple. That would make more sense. I would definitely tilt the supernatural characters in a more Buddhist direction, since Raiden and Fujin are the Japanese names of the Buddhist gods of wind and thunder. Okay, next up is Mokap. His design is based off of Carlos Piscina, who was the model for Raiden in the OG Mortal Kombat games. In the story, he's Johnny Cage's stuntman, who got sucked up into everything in his Armageddon ending. He apparently saves Edenia, explodes, and becomes a constellation in his ending, which is ridiculous. Apparently, he's a bit of an entrepreneur, since his only other reference is the cup that Cassie Cage drinks from, which says Mocap Smokas. Putting a Mocap guy in a game is always just going to end up looking like a Filthy Frank character. And, you know, I don't know what's up with his dad's shoes there. Okay, let's see what we can do. So first, I would make him a stuntman. So he would wear a stunt jacket, like Kurt Russell wore in the movie Death Proof, or Ryan Gosling in the 2011 movie Drive. I would put a Fall Guys patch on it. I think that's a funny name for a stunt group. I would make his appearance like kind of like a burnt out, injured Jackie Chan. And since he's the mocap guy, he'd probably be really flippy. I would give him movements like Yuen Biao, who was the guy who went to the same school as Jackie Chan, but he's kind of like a smaller, more aerodynamic version. I'd put the mocap suit as an alternate costume and give him a joke story, like maybe Shao Khan's Tarkatan horde killed his cat, and I guess he wants revenge. I think it's high time Mortal Kombat has a Jackie Chan-like character, and this would be, in my opinion, a really cool way to do it. So that about sums up my designs here, and it's been another episode of Design Redemption. Like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps my channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.